My name is Chantal Jam and I work as a professional artist in my studio Bayeux Broderie in the town of Bayeux in Normandy. My boutique and workshop, I stitch and design embroidery kits using the Bayeux stitch. Working the Bayeux stitch really suits my personality. I like the relief it creates and the fact that this particular technique is fast and even and does not require to be precise. Compared to other techniques, the Bayeux stitch quickly fills large areas and gives a wonderful opportunity to be creative. Stitching with this technique is never dull. Movement is achieved not only through the drawing but also through the stitch. The embroiderer should anticipate and work the wool yarn and the linen canvas to achieve a fantastic end result. Because I'm so passionate about embroidery using the Bayeux stitch, I've chosen this as my profession. Naturally, I learnt the skill in Bayeux, where I was employed as an embroiderer in an association. When this was closed in 2001, I decided to set up my own business, Bayeux Broderie. I realized that there was no longer any professional artist to perpetuate this wonderful technique, and living in Bayeux at the time, I had a skill that I wanted to pass on. Today, Bayeux Broderie is the last embroidery studio to develop this ancient technique through workshops and courses and the creation and sale of kits in the Bayeux stitch. I am often invited to participate in numerous art and craft exhibitions in France, in Belgium and England. My company has the right to reproduce any part of the Bayeux tapestry. This enables me to answer specific requests from clients and often brings me to draw scenes from the famous tapestry. A careful study of the original embroidery enabled me to determine the different shades of yarn. I use wool that has been dyed specifically for my studio, with the colours being very close to those used in the 11th century. The same goes for the weaving of the linen cloth, which is of excellent quality. Very recently, a study of the reverse of the Bayeux was carried out, and following this, I made some changes to my embroidery technique. This particular embroidery technique is laden with history. It was used in the 11th century in order to create the famous Bayeux tapestry. The embroidery is 70 meters long and is displayed in the William the Conqueror Museum in Bayeux. There are 4 stages to achieve the Bayeux stitch: the stem stitch, the satin stitch, the barrette stitch, and the picot stitch.
The first point is the stem stitch. The stem stitch must be covered all the line. And then I pick in the line and then I come back at the last point. I pick in the line, I come back. It's the stem stitch. After, it's very important to use a hoop, a good hoop for a good tension for the linen. And then I made a very long stitch for cover all part of the linen. Generally, I made the stitch around 5 or 6 centimeters. I pick just near the point and then I come back. Now, all stitches are made. It's important to cross over for couch, and then it's important to cover all the linen. And then, when all stitches are made, when I cover all the linen, is necessary to couch this one, and then I couch with another point. I cross over. I cross over in one time, stem stitch to stem stitch. I repeat this point to the 3 or 4 millimeters around, and then I pick just near here, and then I cross over. But before, it's important to couch this one with a very little point. This little point, the name is the stitch of picot. Little point. Perhaps this one I can made 2 picot. I finish and then I make another. I make again, I pick inside the stem stitch and then I cross over. I cross over in one time and I couch, but I couch always in staggered, never in line. It's very important to the stitch.
I stitch and create embroidery kits. Traditionally, these are done using wool yarn onto a linen cloth with a succession of colorful designs taken from scenes of the Bayeux tapestry. Very quickly I wanted to mix textures and colors and play with shades, contrary to tradition. I also wanted to use different materials and even use paint in order to bring tradition to life through innovation and different designs. But that's not the subject today. We will speak later about changes and the mixture of textures and colors, and there will soon be more about this on my website. Embroidery kits representing scenes of the Bayeux tapestry and other designs are available for sale on www.bayeux-broderie.com. There is a choice from small to very large designs, and embroidery kits include beautiful materials and very detailed explanations. The embroidery techniques is accessible to all as long as you follow the rules. I wrote the book, The Joy of Embroidering with the Bayeux Stitch, which provides many keys to creating a successful embroidery using the Bayeux stitch.